All right, so welcome to the lunchtime video. Fortunately, I didn't do a. So Friday I needed to take care of my vehicle registration. So it's a two-step process for some reason. So I need to do the second step sometime, but I could probably do that in the evening. So I skipped on Friday. I also didn't do any weekend videos, which is kind of shame on me. I deserve to fail the exam for that if I continue to do that. And even just for the last few weekends, I kind of deserve to fail because I'm really low on time right now. It's literally about a month away. But I'll be honest, where my head is at right now, I'm really questioning the worth of this exam, especially given the extra risks and the change in employment I have had recently. I just am questioning the value I can get from a Juniper service provider certification, especially for the amount of effort it requires. For that same amount of effort, or perhaps even less effort, I think I could develop skills that will take me a lot farther. But of course, the counter argument to that is I've already put in a lot to this, and yeah, sunk cost fallacies. Okay, yeah, I know what that is. But an expert level exam will benefit my career undoubtedly. Passing one of those, and it's the amount of effort I might need to pass that might actually be a lot less than something else because of the effort I have put in already. Okay, so right now I'm just waiting for access to my lab. For some reason, it seems to be having trouble finding it. I'm not sure why. I do have my apartment heat up in the evenings, and of course that's going to be tough for any computer system once it gets hotter. So my server does kind of go through a bit of stress in the evening, especially because I'm in Texas, so sometimes it can get pretty hot in my apartment. But I've never had this issue before. Let's go into the GUI for the actual server. And then let's take a look at the server, and hopefully it's up. It could be down. If it's down, it's just a matter of bringing it back up. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully I just typed it in wrong. There we go. So let's see what the issue is. So it doesn't appear to be any sort of issue. It appears to be up. Looks like there was a pretty big dip in the. Okay, that makes sense because this is when the cron job reboots it. I have it to reboot at 11:45. So yep, it's going to dip quite a bit, but it looks like this is kind of a strange pattern after that. Maybe there was some different issue. I wish I could see the performance summary from yesterday. But it looks like that data is missing. Yeah, that'd be really nice if I could see the performance data from yesterday. Maybe if I drag it. Nope. Okay, it looks like I only get 1 hour of performance data. Yeah, so performance summary last hour. Is there a way to change this? So I can get performance summary from the last week or the last day. Because even the, because I have a reboot in the morning as well, I believe. Oh no, I have a reboot before the after work video. So if I could even just see those stats, that would really help. But of course, it looks like I cannot. Let's see those stats. That would just be too useful. It's worth doing a Google search. Let's try that. Oops. Of course, this is even more difficult. Oh, right, and my dialog prompt is different. So this is performance summary last hour. So let's do ESXi, performance summary. Now, is this vCenter server? What is this? So this doesn't look like vCenter server. It looks like just ESXi. So I'm not sure what they mean by that. Maybe I can search. No, so this is definitely not vCenter server. So I'm not sure what these charts are. So I might need to use like an extra program in order to get the charts that I need. It's an interesting bike. I can see outside my window better because I changed my setup. Somebody's got like a interesting looking bike out there. All right, but let's oh, so yeah, so I'm in the middle of troubleshooting this problem. There's some sort of issue where it did not come back. I'm not sure what this ready means. And then the memory looks pretty steady, but this pattern here, I'm wondering if that's an abnormal pattern. But in any case, it looks like it did go back to the regular consumption it had before the reboot. So I don't think that's related to the issue I'm having. Let's check the data store. Maybe there's, nope, so I don't see any errors. Yeah, I really don't see any issues. So I'm pretty confused as to what is going on. I've never dealt with this before. I would just straight up walk over and look at the hardware, but I mean, if I can get to this prompt here, there's not going to be an issue with the hardware because there's an issue with the virtual machine. So I think what I'm going to do, so it takes 6 minutes to reboot. So I'm just going to do another restart, and in 6 minutes it'll come back and hopefully it will work at that time. I did notice that there was the possibility to upgrade the client, but as far as I know, I did not do that. If you have differing versions on your GNS3 VM and your GNS3 client, then you cannot hook them up together. They have to be the exact same version. The VM server has to be the same version as the client that you install on your laptop. So yeah, that's not an issue. So where we left off last time though, I just had a few more things to apply, I believe. Yeah, so I went on to the next one. I was applying this. You know what I might do? I might just move on from this because I'm not sure how relevant it is. And I'm really kind of sacrificing a lot of time to work through that, possibly for not much payoff. So it's just a lot of time, it's a lot of energy for one topic. There's 80 topics on the exam, so it just doesn't seem like a good trade-off to me. So if I were to do that, the next thing I would look at would be LDP tunneling. So this is just seamless MPLS. Unfortunately, it looks like a very, very complicated subject, but we did reading, we looked at the configuration. It would be nice to look at the verification steps as well. So let's just look at them now in the 6 minutes when it's coming up. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, I mean, I think all these verification steps are going to be pretty good to look at. So we'll just go through, yeah, we're going to see this show route summary. I've never even seen that command before. Hopefully we'll see some good Mpls commands. Oh, yeah, we've got this ping rapid, which I really haven't been using. That could be very useful. Save me some time. Yeah, so I think this is going to be worth it to see all the way through. But if we got another one where it's a big topic like this, unfortunately, I don't think the ends will justify the means. Oh, it looks like we've got DHCP as well. Just a really complicated lab. Yeah, it's really something you would use more for reference on the job than study for an exam, it looks like. It just seems like it requires you to basically already know the subject matter in order for it to be useful. Let's see if there's anything about seamless MPLS in these documentations. Here we go. So another value of hybrid architecture, particularly when seamless MPLS is involved, is that the service edge can be placed in the location that is most appropriate to the service being terminated. This enables delivery of a unified metro architecture that might terminate different services in different models on the exact same infrastructure. For instance, it might be desirable to terminate high-speed internet access very close to the core on a centralized BNG, while services that have very strict latency and high bandwidth requirements, such as IPTV, VOD, and VoIP, can be terminated on a distributed BNG to enable direct resolution to the appropriate resource on the provider network. Juniper Networks MX Series 3D Universal Edge Router portfolio supports all these models. Additionally, they support mobile and business services that enable network consolidation. So seamless MPLS, the whole point is to make it so that you need to do less things to support more services. You want it to be seamless across which service you're using. You don't want each service to have a different set of requirements. That is the point of seamless MPLS, to have the same set of requirements across different service offerings. The design of the core network and resources is somewhat peripheral to the discussion, but it can impact design decisions. In many cases, MPLS is used as the transport for all core networks. One concept gaining favor is the use of seamless MPLS. Seamless MPLS enables the provider to design and operate a true end-to-end network that leverages the strengths and capabilities of MPLS at every layer. This approach is fully supported by the Juniper Networks Broadband Edge Solution Architecture. And that's another benefit. What I said before might not be entirely true. It's just my understanding of it currently, which could be a bit problematic. But as it said here, to summarize, because it's just a lot of jargon, is another point of seamless MPLS is to kind of simplify your configuration throughout your topology. Without seamless MPLS, you've got to have separate MPLS segments that each require more configuration than a implementation of MPLS where throughout the network it is more seamless, and you're only really focusing on the end-to-end, and where you would have multiple endpoints because you have multiple segments, you can just have one huge segment. That is a thing that requires a special sort of technology to be enabled. It's not something that's just a default feature of MPLS. It requires an extension, and the extension is named Seamless MPLS. Okay, so that's it for that one. Let's see if there's anything in here. Nope, nothing. So that was pretty useful. Hopefully the VM is up now. Yep, so it looks like it's up. So hopefully I can reach it. Perfect. Okay, so I don't know what happened, but it is good to go now. So let's continue with the, yeah. Okay, so, so configuration, and then I believe, so I remember doing R0, so I'm either at R3. Let's just see what I'm at. So I did R0. I believe I'm on R4, but let's verify R3 quick. I wonder how I'm stressing my server actually, because I do have a lot more configuration and more devices than I typically support. So yep, looks like R3 is good to go. Lots of config on there. I'm pretty sure I only have one left, but let's take a look at R4. So yep, perfect. R4 is good to go. And R4, from what I understand, is just a transit router, so it's not going to have much configuration anyway. R5, let's take a look at what kind of router that is. Oops, so it's not a transit router, it's a core router, but I think a core router and a transit router are basically the same terminology. Okay, so this is now called an LNS router. So it's going to be a router right here, and it's going to connect up to the ISP retailer. Okay, so let's try to configure this as quickly as possible, and then spend the rest of the video verifying, and then that will be the end of this video, of this topic. Gotta move on. I only got a month left, and it looks like I'm really not going to I'm really not going to be able to cover everything before the exam, but that's what the help apropos strategy is all about. The first thing I do when I sit down is going to be help apropos, pipe match, and then begins with a H, help topic. This is the very first thing I'll be doing on the test, and then I'll be, and I'll do a pipe no more on it as well. And then I'll be taking this output and putting it into Notepad++. And if I'm ever stuck on something, hopefully there'll be some keywords that I can use in the question to look through this and kind of either jog my memory or learn it for the first time. Unfortunately, that's really the only way I'll be able to tackle some of the questions, with there being so much material on the exam and with the time I allotted for myself to study for it. I've really only, I think, been studying for like 6 months. I guess I'm curious enough to look at when I posted my first video. And granted, my first video, I had been studying for many months before I posted, but I think it's still a good sense for how long I've been studying. So um, let's see here, how many videos. Oh, and I've got extra videos on here. Oh, but it's not about the number of videos. Here's my first video 3 months ago. So yeah, like honestly, you know, I had been studying a bit like at work and a bit let's see here. Yeah, a bit before I posted this first video here. God, I like the wispy hair. But anyways, I don't think I allotted enough time to myself to study for this exam. I would say 9 months is, you can probably do it, but to be honest, like, you know, I allotted myself a year because I wanted to take advantage of a program offered through my work. Or sorry, I allotted myself for less than a year because I only had a year to complete it, and I thought I might be able to. I thought I might need a retake. So really, I allowed myself for about 9 months, but I think realistically, I only spent about 6 months on it, which is definitely not enough. All right, so yep, this is what I'll be doing during the exam. But right now, let's see if I can get this configured. Okay, and I will need a quick break eventually, but it will be a very, very short one. Okay, so I'm going to take a short break. I'll pause the video and be right back. Okay, and I am back. So let's keep going. I'm going to have to use different numbering here, but it looks like there's only 3, so it should be a lot easier. I'll just put this in a notepad. Okay, so we are good to go. Won't be able to paste this all in, but I will be able to do half of it, I believe. Oops, so there's a problem here. I don't see what the problem is. It looks like it dropped my quotation mark for some reason. So I guess maybe I just need to go slower. I hope that didn't happen for, no, it didn't happen for the other ones. Oh, yeah, so it looks like it's dropping my, oh, I see. It's dropping the word description for some reason. That's interesting. I wonder if it's because of this /. It looks like it's putting it in the wrong order. It's the retailer is being pasted in before the word description, even though it's not what's on here. So maybe if I just take this in 2 parts. Yep, so I think it's this / is messing with something. Let me try taking that out. It's just the description. Nope, it's not the /. So that is really odd. It's just pasting, I think. You can't paste it. Okay. All right, that wasn't too difficult to overcome. Oh yeah. Yeah, if anyone's never heard of deliberate practice before, it's created by experts, it's easily repeatable. You get immediate feedback. It's mentally demanding, and unfortunately, it's not too much fun. If you're doing deliberate practice, you're more likely to make advancements in your activity. So I think my studying here qualifies as deliberate practice. Unfortunately, it's not, well, it might not, because it's not designed by experts. It's designed by me. I'm not an expert yet. I won't be until I pass this exam or CCIE or something like that. I think it's pretty easily repeatable. I don't know if I get feedback too, but it's definitely mentally demanding and not much fun. So that's always important to keep in mind, is what's the value you're getting in for your time. And of course, there are arguments that if you're not getting any value for your time, maybe your definition of value is flawed. But for me, my definition of value is passing this test. So how likely am I to pass the test is really what I need to be assessing my time spent on it. It's how I need to assess it. Okay, moving on. Okay, so now we've got 3 and 5. So let's take a look at what the equivalent is for 3 and 5. Okay, it's going to be 0 and 1. Okay, so this looks a lot easier here. Perfect. Oops, or not. Yeah, I might need to either take it slow or type it all out. It's because the quotation marks aren't working for some reason. But I can just take it from here and then type it out. Oop, this is going to be routing instance. Oh, so it looks like they've got an extra, they've got dynamic profiles listed twice. That might be why these didn't go through. All right, so hopefully they're pasteable. Yes, excellent. Not worth a downvote, just really annoying. Oops. Oh man, I'm getting tired. It's only 12:30 and I'm already feeling tired. Definitely had a pretty big caffeine buzz earlier, so I might be crashing from that. Usually I avoid caffeine, but I was sent some coffee by mistake, so I've been drinking it. But I've been actually liking it quite a bit, so I actually am planning to order some more of it. Like if you have, like for me, if I have, I think if I have caffeine in the morning and the afternoon, and I'm careful about how much of it I consume, it's not the worst thing in the world. Just if it affects my sleep, and then if I drink too much of it and get jittery or whatever. But like just like a cup or two is fine. All right, so I don't know what's happening here. I do have access, but I don't seem to have system services. Let's see what I got. Okay, so maybe I have services. What about the HCP pool? Don't have it. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. It looks like it's for IPv6 DHCP. I wonder if they accidentally, yeah, okay, I see what happened. They accidentally included access. Yeah, it might be worth a downvote because of how sloppy it is. There you go. That's it. There's just been a lot of mistakes. Yeah, and I think this is meant to be. Okay, let's try this. Oops. Oh, it's probably similar to what was up here. Radius flow tap. Is that a, let's see here. Edit access, sets, we got radius, maybe radius options. And then like flow tab. Another thing I can do is help apropos flow tap. Yeah, so now I can do set services radius flow tap. Ah, so they've just got an extra tab. Yeah. Oops, so it's going to be set services radius flow tap. Perfect. Reference interface must be defined. Yeah, I'm not sure what this interface is or why it's not defined. I mean, I guess I'll just define it. Okay. Yeah, so taking a long time is usually a good sign, especially if you've got a lot in your Canada config. Or at least it has been a good sign for the other routers. And I think a lot of the hesitation comes in with, oops, so it looks like this one actually isn't configured for redundant routing engines. Okay, but the good news is we've got about 20 minutes. Don't have a meeting today, so I won't need to give myself a little bit of extra time. So let's go over the verification. The following sections show how to verify that the configuration is working properly. Before I do that, actually, I'm going to cable it up. Okay, so R0 to R1, let's start there. Okay, so R0 is going to have connections on 2 and 3, which is going to be 4 and 5, to R1, 0 and 1. Okay, perfect. All right. So now let's do the connections to R2. Okay, so it's going to be 0 and 1. And here it's going to be 4 and 5, which is 6 and 7. All right, so let's see here. Yep, now we've got router 4. Skipping router 3, there's no router 3. For some reason, they named router 3 router 0. Not sure what is wrong about router 3, especially since it's not like it has a specific role. It's BNG, so they could have gone with like BNG1, BNG2. I guess I would rather they had done that. Oh, and router 4 actually doesn't have any descriptions. Now it does have configuration. I just wonder if they didn't give the descriptions or maybe there was some sort of error. Let's figure that out. So they just didn't provide any descriptions, which is really bad news because I don't know where it plugs in. Maybe it will be easy to find. Well, let's just go with the subnet. So we're going to do show int terse type match g dash, and then we'll do the same on router 4. Okay, so now we've got subnets 14 and 15. So router 4, 14 and 15. So it's nice and easy. It's just 1 to 1. It's just 0 to 0 and 1 to 1. Okay, so that makes things really nice and easy. And now if I go back to the descriptions output, I can see all of the links are up. So let's move on to the next one. Next one will be router 1. So I'll make that the forefront. Come on, let me click. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so we've just got a connection to what? What the hell? There is no router 3. Okay. What the heck do they mean by router 3? There clearly is no router 3. Oh, there is a router 3 right here. Well, where's router 0? Do I have a router 3? I do. Okay. Well, I have it, so not a big deal. All right, so let's take a look at router 3. Not sure why I thought there wasn't one, but looks like there is one. So I'm going to be going to router 1. So router 3 is going to have 1 and 2, which is going to be 3 and 4. The heck? Oh, somebody's driving a giant truck. Okay, let's see here. So it's going to be 4 and 5 to 3 and 4. Perfect. All right, so now router 1 is finished. All right, so it's time for router 2. Okay, router 2 connects to router 3. Okay, it's going to be 4 and 5. Router 3 is going to be 5 and 6. Okay, so 2 and 3. Okay, so now 3 is going to plug into, oh, what the heck? Okay, I don't know how that works to have router 3 plug into a, okay, so let's do the show in terse again. Okay, so this is going to be 000. It's going to be subnet 40.1. Let's see if router 2 has perhaps an unmarked interface. Nope, router 2 has no 40.1. So let's check the other routers for 40.1, try to figure out what's going on here. So we've got a 40.2 here on router 4. So I'm guessing that the description is just wrong. So this is going to be for router 3. Yeah, so this is wrong. It meant to say router 4. Okay, and let's see how it plugs in. So router 4, it's going to be port 2, which is port 4. And then router 3 is going to be 0, so it's going to be 2, 4. Perfect, and it's just going to be one link. All right, so that was 3, so let's move on to 4. And first, before moving on, let's verify that everything is up. Yep, okay, now let's move on to 4. So 4 doesn't have any descriptions, unfortunately, but we do have subnets on there that we can use. So the next one is going to be 50.1. Let's try to figure out where that plugs into. We're keeping an eye out for 50.2. Here we go. So it's going to plug into R5, which is down here, and it's going to plug into 3 on R5. 4, it's going to be 5. Perfect, okay. So I think 4 has still got some connections. Yep, so I'm gonna need to look for 51. So 51 goes to R5, it's just the next port. And then same thing here, next port. All right, so we got one more link, and it's going to be 9000. Probably going to be .2, could be anything though. Well, it could be anything within that subnet. So it could be 2 through 254. So unfortunately that's high and dry. There is no other subnet, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to keep that cable down for now. And I'm going to move on to router 5. So router 5, hopefully we've got descriptions on there. It makes everything easier. Yep, so need to plug into router 4. But I think router 4 is the one. Yep, router 4 is missing descriptions. So we're going to need to look at the subnets. So 50.2 on router 5. Router 4 has 50.1. Oh, I see. I didn't look at a new. What? Okay, and there's very loudness outside, so I'm going to put this on. Okay, so I think I miswired this. It's going to be 5 to 4. So I got to go. Yeah, 0 and 1 on 5 goes to 4, 3 and 4. So let's delete these, and I'll go. Oh, what? But 0 and 1 are already. Oh, okay, I see. I think I did it backward. Well, I don't know what I did. Okay, but it should be good to go now. Oops, or not. Okay, yep, it's good to go now. So next one is going to be the 200.0.0/24 network. Okay, this is another ghost network. Don't see it anywhere else but on here. I think 199 is going to be similar. Yep, 199 is another ghost network. There's a strange resonance with my voice. I'm not sure what it is, but it's really distracting. Okay, so now it's time for, so router 6 is the one we're missing. So, okay, so router 5, we're going to be plugging into 6.1. Or sorry, router 7 is going to be plugging into 6.1. Oh, which is another phantom network, it looks like. Okay, so let's see 7.2. Here we go. So router 5 is going to plug into, router 7 is going to plug into router, where's router 7? The hell? Oh, there it is. Oh, shoot. Am I missing 2? I never. Oh, I see. Okay, so router 7 and router 8 are not part of this topology. It's a 6 router topology, so I just put those aside for now. Okay, so that's good news. All my wiring is complete, so hopefully it will match the diagram. Oops, and I've only got 3 minutes left. So let's see that it matches the diagram here. We should have 4 routers with an X between them. Okay, so, I think, yeah, okay, so I've got them backwards, so I'll put this here, and then on the top is R0, perfect. Bottom is going to be R3, perfect, and then we've got R1 and R2, perfect. Okay, sweet. Excellent. So here's my seamless MPLS topology. Everything looks great. So I'll see you in the next video, hopefully the after work video, where I verify topology. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.